welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test server, and happy Halloween. It is Halloween here in the United States, so we want to hop over because we have a new hero at Halloween, and it is a new hypo hero, and see what this hero is all about. So the Cursed Conjurer Knox, very interesting looking build over here. So a little bit of an older, he's got different colored goggles in here, but he also does have this mechanism behind him. So let's look at the skills and abilities. Now, a lot of players were also questioning the support aspect. So we have seen an insane amount of support heroes in the AFK arena as of lately. So let's see if he's going to be a requirement. And he is also a debuffer. So very interesting, could have a big really aspect in the PvP part of it, but we're going to have to see what these look like. So as you can see, double trouble, so passive. Knox will not use normal attacks. Okay, so right off the bat, when suffering damage or health loss, he gains a stack of panic that lasts for 10 seconds. Each stack of panic increases Knox's movement speed, granting him 20 points of haste and reducing the damage he takes by 10%. Okay, so that's for every stack that he gets of panic for a maximum of 3 stacks. Okay, so 60 haste right there at the max, 30% damage reduction. Knox will continuously move away from enemies. Knox pulls a card behind himself every 6 seconds. Card drops parts, after which Knox will gain a state of panic and run to pick up the part. After picking up a part, he gets 180 energy. All right, so he's not really doing anything at this point. Here is the active. Knox summons a Sith Golem in the area of the highest concentration of enemies, dealing 3 strikes of damage to 150% of its attack rating nearby enemies and stunning them. So we have a golem, which he's going to create, going to have some crowd control, going to have 3 strikes in there. Sith Golem inherits 100% of Knox's attack rating, 80% of other attributes. So the higher you build them, stronger this golem is going to be. If the golem is present on the battlefield, it deals 3 strikes of damage equal to 150% and stuns, while also dispelling all debuffs from the Sith Golem and healing it to full health. So if it is already up and he ults again, it is going to heal the golem for full and get rid of all of the debuffs. So when the golem dies, it deals damage equal to 150% of its attack. And then, of course, stunning. And then Sith Golems deals damage 150% of the attack nearby enemies every 8 seconds. While any of the Sith Golems attack land a hit on a hero, it applies a stack of Locked Mark. Now, we don't know what Locked Mark does at this point, but we know he's going to run around the battlefield like crazy, and he's going to summon a golem. The Chaos Merchant, again, it has a passive and an active. Card drops a toolkit every 4 seconds. The hypo energy inside the toolkit flies towards the nearest enemy, dealing damage 200% of the attack and applying an undispellable stack of Locked Mark, which again, we don't know what that is. Active. This skill is not active by haste. Oh, so they're buffing his haste in the first one. This is not by haste. Throws 3 evil inventions at the enemy hero with the highest attack rating with fewer than 5 marks. Each intervention deals 120% of the attack rating and adds a stack of mark for up to a mark of 5 or max of 5 marks. Each stack reduces the target's attribute. So there are going to be different attributes. So it's almost building backwards. When you think of buffing up a hero such as Jerome, where it has different classifications, this one is going to be a big reduction for every stack they have on there. This mark, 20% attack rating reduction, defense reduction, haste reduction, tenacity reduction, and damage amplification reduction. Again, PvP, this seems like it's going to be pretty crazy and a must to have. So each invention deals 150%. Each state of panic reduces the interval between toolkit dropped by 0.5 seconds. That's pretty big, because if you can have that 3 stacks of panic, continuously accumulates evil inventions, gaining 1 invention per second for every 300 points of haste he has. When the skill is used actively, all of these inventions are thrown, prioritizing hitting the enemy hero. I'm almost wondering what his damage is going to do, because he has a lot of damage orientated skills as well as a debuffer. So Shadow Meddler, again, there is the passive ability. When a hero mark reaches 5 stacks, a Moonin locks on a target after 4 seconds. Moonin absorbs the target's mark, leaving them in a dispirited state, permanently stealing the marked attribute while dealing damage equal to 300% of the attack rating and stunning them. So very similar to what we've seen with the Golem. The despaired effect cannot be dispelled. Each enemy hero can can be stolen attributes by 2 times. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. It just says that it's stealing attributes, doesn't say what it's stealing. Permanently stealing the marked attributes. That's interesting. When absorbing marks, Munin, which looks like this little bat right here, will also reduce the target's energy by 100, by 120. And then, of course, the engraving distributes 30% of the stolen attributes and reduce energy across all allies while stealing. That's going to be a must. Allies' attributes gained from this can stack up to 4 times. So if I'm stealing everything from a boss and giving it to my team, that is going to be pretty strong indeed. And then, of course, Tomorrow's Illusion. When Knox successfully applies the mark, Munin applies a stack of hypo approval on Knox. Each stack reduces the damage Knox and the golem take by 5%, up to a maximum reduction of 40%. Remember, the ultimate already got 30%. When he takes fatal damage, all stacks of hypo approval are consumed. With each stack, converts 8% into max health. This offsets all of the incoming damage. The Knox is cleansed of all control and becomes untargetable and invincible, and is healed with leftover converted energy. So again, it's going to be tougher to kill him. For every time this is offset, the maximum health converted of the approval stack is reduced by 2. And then this one goes to 10, and then he gets 5 stacks. Wow. And then each time he offsets fatal damage, the active of the double trouble skill will trigger automatically, which of course is his ultimate ability. So looking at Munin, so here is that little the sharp eye. All right, when locked reaches max stacks, the attribute reduce. Oh, there we go. So there's the attributes are boosted by 15%. For every mark absorbed by Munin, the duration of the lock is reduced by 0.5 down to a minimum duration of 2. For every marked, it goes by 1 down to a minimum of 2. When locked reaches maximum stacks, the attributes reduce effect of the mark are boosted by 30%. Pretty good right there. When Knox applies a mark, if the target at the max stack or is dispirited, the Knox deals extra damage equal to 100% of the attack rating and increases the damage taken the target takes. So again, they're getting right back to having these really built out and thinking this is very interesting because there is going to be a big damage amplification factor in here. I mean, if you're increasing the damage the target takes by 10% up to 60%, this is going to be an absolute requirement coming into boss fights. Seems like this hero is going to be very strong. When he dies, all intervention in the card are detonated, dealing damage equal to 300% of the attack rating to nearby enemies, heroes, and stunning them again for that 2 seconds. Also applying the stacks of the marks. And it can stack up to 4 times 9 of 9 furniture. Absolutely. With each stack boosting the damage dealt by Knox and the Sith Golem by 12%. And of course, that's going to stack higher than we're having here. So he's going to have more haste. He's going to have more mitigation in there. Crazy. Crazy what they're doing with these support heroes, guys. Let's go ahead and see how he works and what he looks like in these formations. All right, so he's stationary there. Now he's throwing parts. Did he? Oh, he dropped a part right there. Okay, now he's on the enemy side. Now I'm super worried because that's part that he's can absolutely die. Let's see the ultimate ability. So there is the golem. I do like the golem. That is very cool. I don't like him going on the enemy side, though. And I'm wondering just how random this is really going to be. But it looks incredibly, incredibly random. All right, let's see what he does up here. What do we got? We have another hypo. Let's throw some tanks in here because, again, it seems like he is going to be a pretty solid buffer, which didn't really give us a lot of tanks in here. You know what? We'll drop in another hypo in there. I want to kind of see what he does. So again, comes out, seems like at the beginning, doesn't do much of anything. Then he just starts kind of bouncing back and forth. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because even there, I mean, he didn't even come close to leveling up that golem or getting the golem out. Let me try him just by himself. I'm kind of wondering what it's going to look like because, of course, when he takes fatal damage, a couple things. Let me put in one tank in here, and then I will put him in here. Let's go with Oku. Because even there, he's stunned, but he did drop a part off the cart. And he's dropping, you can see the parts dropping out of here on a regular basis. Yeah, I mean, with crowd control and everything else in here. But, I mean, where's the golem? There we go. I mean, decent by himself. That's going to be interesting to see exactly how he looks, but very, very unique build in him. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.